fascism. That was Steve Bannon, a very senior advisor to the president, said that.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of sentences came out of the administration and personnel in there. And as I said in the beginning, we are all against this radical Islam and radical Islamists who are actually promoting the very extreme kind of their own interpretation of Islam. But that doesn't mean that innocent people in this country or around the country, or I'm sorry, around the world, should be punished because of minority that they do not represent the majority of Muslim nation around the world.
Arjun, why are Sikhs being targeted in the country? And this is not a new thing, it's been happening for some time. It led one magazine, actually a popular online magazine in India, Quartz India, to say that it's a time of fear and foreboding for Indians in America. Are Sikhs with turbans and with beards being mistaken for Muslims here? Or is it open war on all people of color, or is it all of the above?
I think it's all the above. I think right now it's open season on anyone who looks different, and observant Sikh Americans who have turbans and beards look different, and that makes them easy targets. At this moment in time, I prefer not to necessarily focus on the fact that Sikhism is different from Islam, for example. I prefer to focus instead on the fact that Sikhs, Muslims, Arabs, and so many other communities are being treated with suspicion, are being treated as second-class citizens, and that really breeds the environment in which we become targets. And specifically on this issue of tracking of hate crimes, it's true, the FBI does try to track hate crimes committed against our communities, for example, but reporting of hate crimes is still voluntary. It's not mandatory. So the Associated Press recently found that something like 30 to 35% of police departments across the country don't report hate crimes. So the data that we do have is woefully inadequate as well.
So it's the responsibility of local police forces to report that to the federal authorities, in this case the FBI.
Exactly.
So now, what do you think is the message that is sent when Donald Trump says things like, I'm going to ban all Muslims, I'm going to subject them to extreme vetting? Then, of course, he came out with that travel ban. It was subsequently revised. He's come out with another travel ban. What kind of message does that send?
Well, certainly a majority of the Muslim population in this country and around the world, they felt that they are not wanted and they should be deported. And many of them, they were scared and they were thinking, oh, maybe it's not a safe haven for us anymore. Especially after the travel ban was there. And many friends, family, and community members that we've been in touch with, they express this kind of fear, this kind of uncertainty about their future here. We always use these programs to work on interfaith, interethnic understanding, and working on issues of hate speech and hate crimes for many years. Explain to them and trying to deliver the message of this country. What he said about Islamist and extremists that we do and many other organizations do.
With, as I mentioned, this winking and nodding to white nationalists.
Vandalization of Jewish institutions. We did hear the president condemn those attacks during his State of the Union speech. We did hear Vice President Mike Pence condemn them as well. But was that too little too late? Should the White House be doing something more?
Yeah, I mean, it was too little too late, yeah. And it came with, as I mentioned, this winking and nodding to white nationalists when President Trump suggested that his political opponents were behind the defamation. So that's been consistently his method since the campaign, to send these winks and nods while at the same time trying to appear civil on the anti-Semitism question. Remember he retweeted the picture of Hillary against the background of an Israeli flag or a Jewish star, saying that she was the most corrupt politician ever. The removal of the Jews from